Right, awesome. So we are live now, and just to let you know, okay. So health is not just about absence of illness, but it's about the presence of energy and passion for life. And that's exactly what tonight is all about. It's about embracing a journey where your health isn't just an afterthought, but it's the driving force behind your best self. So, good evening, everybody. I'm so excited to welcome you all on tonight's webinar, Your Journey to Optimal Health. My name is Ahmed Omar, and I'm a mindset coach. And I'm incredibly excited to guide you through this empowering conversation about how we can create a sustainable, vibrant, and healthy lifestyle. So, the focus of tonight's session is more than just weight loss. It's about achieving that optimal health in a way that's sustainable, healthy, and above all, fits your lifestyle. And now it's my absolute pleasure to introduce our special guest speaker for this evening. And I'm honored to have Mandy Ayling with us, the founder and head coach of Nourish and Shine Healthy Bodies. Mandy has been transforming lives through her holistic approach to health and wellness. Her coaching is focused not just on losing weight, but on gaining confidence and a positive mindset around food and lifestyle. So Mandy's passion for helping others create lasting change is truly inspiring. So without further delay, let me introduce Mandy. And Mandy, welcome. The stage is yours.
Oh, thank you so much, Ahmed, and welcome everyone. Thank you so much for having me on here tonight. Honestly, the honor is all mine. Absolutely work alongside you and collaborate with the idea of, how you want to impact people and help them in their lives. And having just sat through, a 3-day course with you to just experience what you do for people, I'm truly honored to be able to fit in a little bit to help people with what I'm focused on and what I'm passionate about. But tonight I'm just going to start sharing my screen. Tonight is definitely a conversation, I hope, from number one, an inspiring story from someone. For me, my passion for health has come through my own story and journey, which I think we all know is the most important way that we grow through things. And just an invitation that if something makes sense for you, if it's a time in your life where you really want to focus on your physical health, obviously your mental health, but having a long-term change in a way that is holistic and supporting our bodies the way that we should, then out of tonight we're going to be able to have some opportunities to walk a path together. And I'm going to share with you why talk about your journey to optimal health, because I know that when people come through and want to focus on their health right now, a lot of the time it comes through the filter of maybe wanting to lose weight or a situation where they're not happy with where they're at with their health. A lot of the time we're motivated by the intolerable, right? Or maybe you're coming from a perspective of it might be an event, it might be a birthday, it might be a cruise you're going on, it might be a marathon that you want to run, it might be being physically at your peak to be able to handle a workload and step up to the next level at work. Whatever it is for you, my goal is that we at the end of the day, we focus on living our most optimal, healthy lifestyle that we can. And so, as Ahmed said, my name is Mandy Ayling, and I am the founder and head coach of Nourish and Shine Healthy Bodies. It is not just me. I have an amazing team of people that work with me, and I couldn't do what I do without them. But out of here, just wanted to begin with the end in mind. What's the point? The point is that we are actually going to kick off a couple of 6-week challenges out of here for people who are looking to get some health results. So I'll be able to bring up some stuff at the end in regards to how we can connect further with that and what the expectation would be from your side and what value you will get from Nourish and Shine. But I really just wanted to start with my story. So for myself, I've always been a little bit of a heavier girl, always growing up, but that fun, bubbly, never a problem. Like I was never teased or picked on or anything about my size, but I was always just that little bit bigger. Fast forward the clock to 2008, and long story short, I ballooned out to 125 kilos at a frame of 3. I was 20 at the time. And of course, you know, there was other factors in my life, unhappy in a relationship, all of those sorts of things, but also had been diagnosed with Graves' disease, which is an overactive thyroid. They had to fix that. And then what happens is you actually become underactive with your thyroid and your metabolism drops. So coupled with my poor eating habits, you can obviously see down in that bottom left-hand corner, you know, that's a beverage that I've got there, just with my food habits, my drinking habits, my socializing habits, you know, those sorts of choices. Coupled with that, there was a period where in 3 months I put on 30 kilos because of that surgery. So, you know, I was at a point where I was, it was intolerable for me. And you know, just, you know, really it should have been all of those factors that drove me to decide to do something about my health. Like there was some pretty serious health challenges there. But really what it was a non-negotiable for me. And my, you know, my coaches tell me that the sweet spot for change is when you find point A of a point that's just intolerable, that you can no longer stand to be there. And point B is a non-negotiable, something that you want to achieve, something that you want to have. For me, it was going on an overseas holiday. I was 3 months out of going on my first overseas holiday through Europe, and I started to think about the plane ride and what would happen. Would I fit in the seat? Would I be having to ask for an extension belt? And started to feel embarrassment and shame at the thought of that. Then, you know, walking down the aisle and looking for my seat and people thinking, you know, I hope she doesn't sit next to me, you know, because she's big. And I started to really, that started to spiral. And I just thought, nope, this is my time for change. And for a radical change, I knew about a health program that my parents were connected to in business. And long story short, was able to do 2 6-week cycles of this holistic program and lose 15 kilos. Came back from that trip and did another 4 6-week cycles back to back. And so all up, lost 40 kilos in 36 weeks. And that has been, you know, over 15 years now that I've been able to maintain that weight loss. And also what I'm actually grateful for this journey. I'm grateful for this adversity, because what it taught me was that to how to live an optimal life, optimally healthy life, and focus on health. Yes, losing weight was the catalyst to get me in there. What I've learned through how to feed you for fuel, nutrition, energy levels, quality, your muscle mass, all of those things come from initially just wanting to solve my problem. And 10 kilos within that time, now over a 50 kilos. And the reason why be there is because me, those physically beautiful people that are in my circle of friends, and I wanted to feel like I could be at a normal size. I don't need to be the smallest, but I wanted to be healthy and happy and look for my, you know, what I love about this program is it is actually the program that changed helping other people. And so for the last, been able to do as um to do as the profession. And my main is people to be able to equip them for long-term change. My goal is not to be a coach or somebody's coach forever. My equip people with the knowledge and the skills, feed their body for nutrition, you know, to have, but the question is, what brings you in the room today? Is it more energy? Is that what you're after? Most people, I find, are feeling lack of energy, tired and lethargic, even young people, and not sure why. Is it that you've got a high level of stress and you'd like to bring that down? Sometimes our eating habits actually contribute to that massively. Is it to lose weight? 80% of people I know that I work with, actually their main goal is to lose some fat percentage, to lose weight is their main first goal. And then, or is it athlete mode? Are you looking to level up? Are you looking to, have peak performance? Are you looking to work on your fat percentages, your muscle mass, all of those sorts of things? What about a happy, healthy family? Like, that's very important to me, that I am the role model for my family and future generations, and that this is a time that we can take health into our own hands, our family health in our own hands, and actually help equip them to be able to be happy and healthy, especially in a modern day society and diet where it's super hard to figure out what's healthy and what's not. We have so much marketing that's thrown at us, and we're at capacity with our time and working. Sometimes it's hard to instill those healthy habits in the home with time management and all of those sorts of things. So is that important to you? It's certainly an important one for me, to equip the next generation and lead by example. I really feel like we will be the change. We need to example the change. But ideally, the biggest advice I was given, and I will suggest for you to do this regardless, out of today, the biggest gift I was ever given was to write down on a piece of paper a 10-year timeline and think about, your age now, and how old you are, and how old your family is, and in 10 years from now, how old you will be, how old your family is, and if you could design your life to have optimal health in 10 years from now, what does that look like for you? If you're 40 now, you're 50 then, what does that mean? If you're 50 now, you're 60 then, what does that mean for you? For each decade, obviously that means something different, right? So lifelong optimal health is the ultimate goal. That ideally, hopefully we've got a theme in the background that, yes, I've got, something I want to change. That's the catalyst for change right now, something that brings you in the room. But if you want lifelong change, if you want this to be a lifestyle change and not a diet or just another program, then understanding your moving goals and what you want to do that with your health lifelong is super duper important. So 10 years is long enough to have some big dreams and goals, and you can think about who you are then and what that would represent, but bringing it back to in the next 6 weeks, 12 weeks, 12 months from now, I know that anyone, no matter what situation they're in health wise, if they're at at a very poor point of health, that 12 months can be a game changer for long-term lifestyle change for them. But I always bring it back to, out of here, what this is a progressive program of learning where you will have someone in a supportive environment that's going to walk with you on that process and just help you unpack some of the challenges and learn some new habits. And I challenge you, just on that timeline, to draw a backwards timeline for the last 10 years and think about what your health was like 10 years ago. And have your line up till now, is that a positive curve towards optimal health? Or is it a negative curve towards, primarily chronic disease is what most of us are experiencing? Little things like that, inflammation, headaches, all the way to, what the history is in our family, things we want to prevent. Or is it an up and down process, which most of the time it will be, right? And so this is just, if you're not happy with where you are, or if you want to level up with your health, our thinking and our knowledge have gotten us to where we are. So, would you agree that treating this like a course, treating this like a lesson to be able to level up and sift through what's going on out there now and learning how to feed our body for fuel? Our goal here is to actually help you sift through everything and understand how to nourish your body, pretty much getting back to, very primal eating, the way that we were designed to eat before, everything was available to us 24/7, convenience eating, modified food, all of those sorts of things, and learn how our body responds and needs fuel. Okay, so first of all, though, what are you up against? It's really good to understand, because you know, I believe that so many people that are out there right now have had prior experiences with other weight loss programs, tried lots and lots of things. Like at the moment, there's a lot of injections and pills and stuff that you can take that's supposed to help, right? But the problem is with programs that are out there right now, they're designed, a lot of them, if I'm going to be straightforward, a lot of programs and processes are designed for repeat business. It's definitely something like, if you think about, for example, I can give you a story. My nan was part of Weight Watchers club. She loved it. They'd get pins and all of these sorts of things for being part of that program. But that program was more like a club where people would just vacillate between lose a little bit of weight, put it back on, lose it weight, go on, go off, go on, go off, right? Our goal here, my goal is to coach you, to equip you for long-term change. My goal is to help you to get into lifestyle maintenance, because that's truly where most people need time to be able to make this a permanent change for them. So a lot of programs are designed to starve you. There's not enough nutrition, there's not enough whole food eating, and unfortunately cravings will get to us because our body is screaming out for nutrition and water. Some programs, when you've done that and you go off that because it's not sustainable, again, injections, pills, whatever that might be, shakes, if you're not eating long term, you will never maintain those things long term, right? So sometimes we go back to the way we were eating because we haven't learned anything before, and we put the weight back on and more. Why? Because when we starve our body, our body will start to shut down because it feels like it wants to stop you from dying, and it will reduce your metabolism, right? So you put the weight back on and more, you feel worse about yourself, you know, but it's not all about you, right? It's about that process. So what I love about our program is it actually teaches you how to use your natural body's metabolism to fire again, which is really, really important. Some programs, the exercise is too intense or it's too frequent. You know, the best advice I've ever got given was two things. If your goal is fat loss, and I always, unless your goal is putting on weight, I always suggest to people to do the program as its original form for the first 6 weeks, just to get your head around the program and just to get your body's metabolism firing well. But so the best advice I ever got for exercise is that if you want fat loss, then you want to walk at a pace that you can talk somewhere around 10 to 15,000 steps a day, and do what you start with what you can do daily, and we can put together that program, because what you can do daily, you will increase daily because you are getting better daily. And that's along with a lot of the habits that we're going to talk about, is just that daily compound effect, you know, that next 10-year timeline, the next 12-month timeline, whether it's a positive or a negative curve, that will all depend on our constant daily habits, right? So sometimes the exercise is too intense or just too much for your timing right now with what's in your life. And then the last thing is that a lot of programs have the lack of quality supplementation. And the reason why we talk about supplementation, and it is a big part of our program, is being able to get whole food nutrition the way that our body should be receiving it, through organic, you know, plant-based sources. The reason why we need this is because with our food these days, there is not enough nutrition density in our foods with the way it's grown and those sorts of processes. And our habits with convenience eating. So the quality supplementation actually gives your cells what they want, which is proper nutrition and water. And that's really where you know, the game changes with energy levels and cravings and all of those sorts of things, because your body, even aches and pains, you know, headaches, inflammatory stuff, because your body is getting at a cellular level what you need. Okay, so the 4 pillars to long-term healthy habits. Our goal throughout the program, and it booby traps you for success, to learn these principles, and because it is what's woven into the process. Whole food nutrition, we actually teach you how to put your meals together in order to be able to eat them well. So I'll give you a bit of an example with that. Fruit, Fruit is a very healthy food, right? We love fruit. It's great fiber, all of those sorts of things. But if we eat fruit on its own without a source of protein, it actually will give us a carbohydrate spike and a crash, and it will tell your body to produce insulin and store fat. Right. So for so long, my nan would snack on fruit every day, feeling like she was being healthy. But if you couple a piece of fruit with your meal or with a piece of protein, you will actually get an even blood sugar level. Okay. So just an example of what we can go through and teach you: timing, type, size of foods, how to put that in your daily life, and whole foods and how to put them together. Filling the nutrition gap, I already spoke a bit about that. So we work with a product brand that I'll unpack and introduce you to a little bit later. Nutriway is a whole food vitamin and supplement company. So even our supplementation is all about whole food nutrition and just bridging that gap that's lacking in our foods from the processors. Physical activity and mindfulness. These are obviously very important parts, and I'm sure that anyone that's connected to Coach Ahmed would already be hearing and seeing and talking about these sorts of activities. But this is about how to, as a coach, I help you actually set up your morning routine well. Also about activities and what physical activities are right for you. And the last part is that we have a program. With our program, we have the Growth Mindset Input and Association with podcasts, videos, webinars, live events that you can connect in and learn from professionals in the health industry and people that have actually got the knowledge to help you along your health journey. One, from learning the program perspective, but two, also mindset change. And as we know, our mindset is the most important thing that we work on to get long-term change. So not only do we change your habits, but we also work with some of those podcasts on the mindset. So solutions, we can customize plans to meet people's dietary and fitness needs. But basically, we're talking what we've got access to is meal plans tailored towards your goals, activities to support your physical goals, nutritionally dense product stacks that will go along with the program, and personal coaching, mindset development through the podcasts, and community groups online and live locally in different areas that you can connect to for support and being around like-minded people who are working on this as well. So what do we focus on in the program? Just to give you a bit of an overview, we focus on reducing carbohydrates and increasing protein. This is not a ketogenic program where it's about high protein, no fruits, low vegetables. It's actually about adequate proteins and adequate carbohydrates. It's just that with our modern day society and the way our foods are packaged, we eat way too many carbs, ones that we don't know that are there, and not enough quality protein. So we help balance that out. We consider the types of fat we consume. If you're coming from a weight loss point of view, then dietary fat will actually burn above body fat. So we need to just reduce that temporarily. I mean, things like full cream milk and all of that, full cream yogurt are better for our optimal health. But whilst if we're going through a weight loss phase, then we need to just reduce some of those fats that we consume and have good quality fats. Reducing the consumption of alcohol. This is where the very first thing that your body will burn as energy is alcohol if you consume it. So for 6 weeks, our goal is to get to burning our body fat. So we want to reduce our alcohol. We want to reduce our carbohydrates. We want to reduce our dietary fat. And then number 4 is actually where we get into burning body fat. Okay. So considering the timing, type, and size of carbohydrate foods, this is the biggest thing people will learn throughout the whole food component of our program: how to put our meals together, the timing of carbohydrates, the type of carbohydrates, the sources, and the size that we should consume. So as an example, men don't eat bigger portions, they eat more frequent portions. Okay, because it's all about how it's received to the body, and we help do that. Okay, correct supplementation, increased movement and exercise, and accountability through personal coach. These are the 3 pillars that you will find throughout the program that we lean on and work through. So this is an example of a 6-week cycle. We actually prepare anywhere from 3 days to 2 weeks prior into the program. I've had people who have been heavy drinkers that want to not be heavy drinkers, where we've prepared for 4 weeks, breaking that down and getting them ready for success. Okay, so preparation is key, and that is definitely personal to each person that I work with. But I really think that if we can understand your situation, we can work with anything to help this be doable for you. The main goal is to help you feel like you can start and complete a 6-week cycle. 3 jumpstart days, that's where we focus on getting into burning our body fat, and we eat only from protein sources for those 3 days. Then we go into 28 days of weight loss, and the only thing that we focus on and count is carbohydrates. And we have a level of carbohydrates that we eat through the day. We have 3 meals a day and a minimum of 3 snacks a day in there. The last 2 weeks of the 6-week cycle is actually where we stabilize the new weight. So this is interesting because a lot of people don't want to do this part because they've gone on, they've been losing weight, they're feeling good, but this is a really important stop point, because number one, you need to give your body more food. This is a trial run for long-term how you should be able to eat, okay, and maintain your weight. Give or take a couple of discretionary choices a week. And so number one, it's telling your body this is a new set point. You do not need to, your body will try to get you back to the weight you were, because it feels like that was safe. Okay. Anytime you're losing weight, your body feels like it's not going to survive. That's just from a primal point of view, when we used to have to hunt and gather our food, would go through a winter, all of those sorts of things. It's designed to store fat on our body for preservation. Okay. So this is the stabilization is increasing our foods, increasing our portion sizes, and telling our body that this is a new set point. This is a safe space. The second part is actually where we're increasing our metabolism, because it's not going to go into a plateau. It's telling our body it can fire, it can work beautifully to burn our fat stores. It does not need to plateau to save us. So it's helping our metabolism. Every time we do this, if people need to go through multiple 6-week cycles, it's actually helping your metabolism fire better and better and better. And particularly for women over 40, this is amazing, because this is actually where our metabolism starts to slow down dramatically. So it actually helps naturally do that. And then once you get to your ideal weight, or where where you want to be, then we go through maintenance and just making sure that we can help you keep that weight. Right? Because that's the hardest part. When you loosen the reins a little bit, it's like maintaining that. Most people can lose weight. It's keeping it off long term. That's the hardest part. So, typically in a program like that, if you're focused on weight loss, women should lose somewhere between 4 and 6 kilos on the cycle. Men should lose somewhere between 6 and 10 kilos. Typically, we teach you how to eat from the main food groups: carbs, proteins, fats. For carbohydrates, we want to get from our grains, fruits, and vegetables. This is a typical day on the program where we talk about 3 meals a day, and we snack on protein. And the reason we snack on protein is because I was talking about where all the energy is burnt. Body fat is number 4. Number 5 is protein. So it burns under body fat. So it's like an energy source, keeping our body fat burning beautifully if we snack on protein constantly. In fact, we should be having good quality protein every 2.5 hours or less. So this is where we really do talk about its frequency of protein, the quality of protein, and ideally having strong muscle mass for long-term optimal health. And so I already talked about that one. Who needs vitamins? So we're going to talk about being able to bridge that gap of nutrition. Pretty much everyone in a modern day society, unfortunately, we're walking around as a malnourished society, when we have availability of food more than ever before. And that's because of the lack of nutrition in our food. And mainly it comes down to how it's grown. It's the source that matters. And in fact, I've got an audio podcast that people can listen to understand that process. But the 2 product ranges that we actually work alongside the program are a whole food vitamin and supplement company called Nutriway, and a sports nutrition range for great quality snacks and snacks and things that we can put into our diet to help us have some really good choices. So Nutriway is actually a whole food vitamin and supplement company that's been around, just hit 90 years, and the very first vitamin and supplement company in the marketplace. You know, go figure, it started with whole food and then changed along the way. So they've always been about owning the whole process from seed to supplement, and they literally just have the best quality plant-based raw plant-based material for their nutrition. So it's basically food the way we should receive it. So I want to very quickly show you a video, a little bit about Nutriway and their process.
Imagine a world where plants have fingerprints, and where a group of scientists have fingerprinted over 1,300 of the world's botanicals to discover their health benefits, and where every seed is given a unique birth certificate to track its life from seed to supplement. Imagine a group of scientists who search the globe for the best farms on every continent, except Antarctica. Imagine a farm where nature is used to help nature, and where natural pest control is the job of falcons like copper, and where farmers understand their plants so well that they know the precise moment to harvest to optimize their nutrients. Imagine a supplement company that uses every part of every plant, extracting essential phytonutrients for your benefit, and using the rest of the plant to revitalize the soil on its farms. Imagine a team of engineers so obsessed with product excellence that they run more than 500,000 quality checks a year on their supplements. Or a team of packaging engineers who run more than 30,000 tests in extreme conditions to ensure that your supplements will remain pure, safe, and effective from our door to yours. Imagine a life colored with the power of phytonutrients, nurtured every step of the way. Because at Nutrilite, we believe to get truly traceable supplements, you need to go behind the label. These are the real people that bring to life a world you don't have to imagine. This is the real world of Nutrilite traceability.
About the company, and honestly, like, there's a lot of supplement companies out there right now. It's really hard to pick what's healthy, what's not. Sometimes people they feel good on them, sometimes they don't, and it all comes down to the efficacy of them. And what I love about Nutriway and Excess is they give a 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee on all of their products. So if you don't feel better, like, I can tell you all the great information about them, but if you don't feel better and if you don't love it, you have a 90-day money back guarantee, which is essentially 2 cycles of the program. That's a 12-week cycle. So I genuinely say to people, just do the program 100% the way. If I don't get the results for you, then you have not lost anything. You can get your money back. And I just feel like that's as good as it can, of a deal that you can get, because I understand that there's so many programs. People have spent a lot of money, even with weight loss surgery, and still not got the results that they want, not happy with who they are. So that's just my suggestion. So we have two different stacks that we have to support people. Now, I think it's important at this moment that I actually share with you that I don't charge anything for my coaching. Nothing for my time. So we work and align with these brands and work and align with the programs. So the only investment from you is to invest in yourself. And we were able to profit share in some turnover of that product, and also invest in yourself in listening to some of the podcasts and tying into some of the community things. And the only thing I ask is, if you get the results, to pay forward that benefit to other people. And that's how we build a community and a network of people who get benefits. So with that in mind, we have 2 different starting packs that are designed to support the holistic nature of the program. And that's a combination of 3 vitamins. One is a multivitamin, one is omega-3, which is really important for our essential amino acids. It's so hard to get good quality omega-3 these days, and our body needs it a lot. And concentrated fruit and vegetables. So there's 10 to 12 serves in a fruit and vegetable two of the tablets a day, right? So there's two different vitamins that you'll see. One is the daily. So this good that comes with that's got 20 vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrient tablet there. So that's like 90-day serve. But if you're looking for optimal health, if you're looking for proactive defense, if you're pregnant and you want a full pregnancy vitamin, that is something that encompasses that. If you want optimal health, then you would go with the double X. So that's the two different ones for multivitamins, right? So there's two different stacks. Everything else is the same to start. It starts with those vitamins that will bridge the gap of nutrition, and it starts with some protein bars, some quality protein that you can snack on in and around the day that actually tastes good, that's actually the kind of quality of protein that you want, that you can have your cake and eat it too. For that stack, to kickstart with that, the investment is $273. If you wanted that double X, and I can send information about the two, then that would be $343. And that, would give you at least a month's supply of the supplementation and the snacks to be able to kickstart that, right? Now, the really good news about the products is because you guys are connected to Coach Ahmed, for your first shop, you can access 10% off the first shop, which is really exciting. So out of here today, that would be the first thing. Now, then we've got some extra products that if you, want to lean in more and get other things that we suggest, a lot of people actually like to have shakes as a snack or use protein powder to make some protein balls. So we've got like 4 different flavors of that. We also have Excess Energy, are a naturopathic sports nutrition range. Their first product was an energy drink. So these are actually green tea, rhodiola root, and B vitamins, no sugar energy drinks. So if you're out there and drinking unhealthy caffeines or soft drinks or other energy drinks, and grabbing a snack on the run, went down from the smoko truck or whatever that might be, you can literally change that game by a protein bar and an energy drink at morning or lunch, right? So I'm not going to go through all of these. The magnesium is amazing, just for aches and pains, but also for going to the bathroom. And an Excess Energy rhodiola is good for mind clarity and lifting up your energy levels. So I really for brain fog, it's really good for that. And then there's the supporting stack with the Health Point. I don't think I've actually said the name of the program. So the name is called Health Point. It actually comes out of America, put together by bariatric surgeons, specialist weight loss doctors. And the whole program, you can get it in a hard copy or you can get it on an app. And it's got the whole program on there. It's got areas where you can track your food, track your habits with your supplementations and your walking. It's got some audios and videos on there that you can watch and listen to. It's got everywhere where you can put your before and after photos and track your goals. And along with that comes the complimentary coaching package, which is community meetups of private Facebook group week coaching calls. They're great because you get to leverage from other people's questions that are along the program with you, and just lean in and learn so much. The Network 21 mobile app, Network 21 is our training and mindset app. And so they actually own the Health Point program. So you can have access to that, where I can share with you podcasts and all of those sorts of things. So there's a few different ways you can access that. And also there's a weekend event that you can attend if you want. So for me, I just know if you can, it's actually coming up in Sydney at the end of October. I'm going to be coming down for it. And if people are really looking forward to lean in and level up, to take 2 days out of what's going on in your life, to invest in yourself around other like-minded people, and into your mindset, and to put your goals and solidify all those things, you are welcome to come along. And actually speaking, and so the event cost is $99 for a whole weekend. So that's on the 26th and 27th of October. It's going to be at the ICC. There is a mindset coach coming by the name of Gilbert Anoka. So Gilbert Anoka actually is the mindset coach for the All Blacks and took them from zero to being the winning team. He was also the mindset coach for the New South Wales State of Origin team that just won this year. And also he's the general manager of Harcourts Refined. So he is proficient in leading teams and leading leaders and teaching people how to invest in mindset for themselves. Now there's other speakers there, but if you only heard from Gilbert, it would be worthwhile. So it all all depends on you. That is just an added bonus. It's local. You know, when was the last time you took 2 days out to work on yourself at an affordable cost, in my opinion? So anyway, that's all you need to know, except a couple of success stories. I know I'm going to be finished in 2 minutes. I called Dean my best student, because Dean was 167 centimeters, he was 6'7", 165 kilos. He was 23 at the time, and he was working in a pub as a manager. And I actually tried to talk to him about this program twice before the third time he decided to join. And his reason was, his catalyst, his intolerable was that he went to the doctor, and the doctor told him he was pre-diabetic, that if he didn't change what he was doing, he would be dead by 30. And so that was his catalyst for change the third time. So when I called him, he said yes. And I said, I raced to him where he was working, and over a burger, some chips and aioli and a Coke, we talked about Health Point. And, you know, I knew that this was a dire moment for him. And I just leaned into him and I said, Dean, you do it 100% my way, stick with me, and we can get the results, and I'll educate you. And for him, what a great story. He did. He listened to the podcast. He came to the weekend conference. He leaned into the learning. He just showed up for himself. And in 12 months, he lost 70 kilos of fat. He put on 10 kilos of muscle mass. And that third picture is actually him 7 years later. So I love that picture because it was on his 30th birthday, which he was told potentially he wouldn't make it to. So, you know, and 7 years later, he had the permanent change. So I love that story. There's so many people that I can talk about. There's so many more pictures, but so many of these people, this was done in a 12-week challenge. So I normally say to people, look, the first 6 weeks are about getting your head around the program. 12 weeks, 90 days, it's where permanent change starts to happen. I'm sure Coach Ahmed would agree with me that, you know, it takes time to build those habits and then solidify those habits. So, you know, participation details are, we're going to kick off a 6-week program. We've actually got 2 start dates coming up because we've got a couple of different groups that are running. So we have another initial start date on the 7th of October and another one on the 14th of October, just before that weekend event in Sydney. And so what's expected, purchase the products and choose the mindset stacks, that was hard to say, prior to the challenge. That's where we will catch up, go through one-on-one. I'd love to know your story. I'd love to know what you need and want. When you're if you decide to do the 6-week challenge, the only thing I ask you to do is to decide to complete it imperfectly, with me holding your hand along the way. You know, this is a process. You know, we have weekly tracking and habits, healthy habit stacks using the app. Use the products. 100% need you to do that because they're accredited with the program. And obviously, that's how I am able to make this a business. Listen to the podcasts and lean in. I can be your best coach, but you're with you 90% of the time. You know, I can be with you 90% of the time. You're with you 100% of the time. You need to be your best cheerleader. And the way you can be your best cheerleader is to actually work on your self-talk, mindset, you know, all that permanent change stuff. The podcast and the knowledge of this program and how to feed yourself. Everything I've learned has been through those audios and live events. Every single thing that I know has been through there. So I know that you can do that for you too. And just commit to the 6 weeks. The only way you fail is to quit. And so getting started, I talked about those sorts of things already. So I don't know whether anyone has any questions. I'm happy for you to connect with me. The QR code there, you can scan that. That'll take you to the Nourish and Shine Facebook page, and you can message me from there, or you can obviously let Coach Ahmed know, you know, what from there. But I'm just super grateful for the time to be able to share a little bit about what we're doing. And if not for you, if you can think of anyone that might benefit from being part of a community and environment like this, I'd love you to share. And I would welcome any questions or thoughts through my Facebook page. So thank you so much for my time, Ahmed. I truly appreciate you. And I look forward to, maybe meeting some of you all soon. Thanks again.
Thank you very much, Mandy. It was a very thorough presentation, and really loved what you said, and how portion control and how we can combine the meals to fulfill the needs of our body in terms of fat, in terms of protein, carbs, everything. So thank you very much. And to all the audience, you have all the details of Mandy. And thank you very much for tuning in, and see you next time. Bye bye for now.